Capuchin TV.
Forward ever, backward never. Let us move ahead and so on. Even children, kuna kakitu tunaweza kufanya ili kanisa iweze kumetameta.
Endelea kutazama Capuchin TV, kitambulisho Katoliki.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Catholic Focus on Capuchin TV, where we bring you stories that matter from the Pope's latest message to development in the church, economic growth, and efforts to fight illicit brews affecting our communities. I'm Charles Mavaton, and with us for sign language interpretation is Charity Gima. Let's begin with today's top stories. Pope Leo has urged the faithful to witness Christ's love and build the church through charity and communion. During his weekly general audience, Pope Leo XIV reflected on the Lumen Gentium, emphasizing that the church is both human and divine, a reality that integrates earthly community and mystical body without opposition. He reminded the faithful that the church is not an abstract ideal, but Christ alive in history, revealed through real people with strength, weaknesses, and faith. The Pope highlighted that holiness is found in this union of human fragility and divine presence.
Dear brothers and sisters, in our continuing catechesis on the Second Vatican Council, today we consider the mystery of the human and divine dimensions of the Church as presented by the dogmatic constitution Lumen Gentium. Just as Jesus' humanity was immediately apparent to those who walked by his side, so too the human dimension of the Church is easy to perceive. It is a community of men and women who, with their gifts and their flaws, seek to proclaim the gospel within a visible structure. Those who follow Jesus more closely, however, recognize that his humanity, his loving gaze, his merciful gestures, and his powerful word manifested his divinity, which led them to salvation. In a similar way, through the visible and human dimension of the Church, the Spirit of Christ and his saving action are present and active in the world. Let us strive to be authentic witnesses of the love of Christ, so that all can recognize in us and among us the charity that characterizes true Christians and builds up the Church. I greet all the English-speaking pilgrims and visitors taking part in today's audience, particularly the groups from England, India, the Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam, and the United States of America. With prayerful good wishes that this Lent will be a time of grace and spiritual renewal for you and your families, I invoke upon all of you joy and peace in our Lord Jesus Christ.
Kenya is widening its export footprint after securing expanded market access across the East African community, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Europe. Leaders say the duty-free and quota-free access will unlock fresh growth as the country shifts focus from raw exports to value-added manufacturing.
Speaking at the groundbreaking of the first investors factory at the Murang'a Industrial Park, Principal Secretary for Investment Promotion Hassan Abubakar urged local investors to think global. He said Kenya now enjoys favorable trade terms in key international markets, offering duty-free and quota-free access that positions local manufacturers for competitive advantage.
One way of creating jobs for our youth is through industrial jobs, and that is why we are building these industrial parks to be able to attract industrial investors to set up industries here and create jobs for our youth. But most importantly, when these industries are set up, most of their raw material, they have to get it from our local communities. Yeah. So because we are attracting investment that with backward integration into as input to their processes. So that one will also create us a market for our farmers and for the source of raw material that is we have here in Murang'a County and Kenya as large. But most importantly, once they get the raw material, acting as a market for the raw material by our farmers and creating the industrial jobs for our youth.
Abubakar revealed that Kenya is also pursuing stronger trade ties with China, with plans to sign an export agreement to ease entry for Kenyan industrial goods.
We want, once they produce, we want them or encourage them not only to sell to the Kenyan market, but to sell to the export market, because the president's agenda is to expand the market, the international market, and the people who can set up here, they can be able to access international market duty-free, quota-free. We have been able to open almost half of the global market. Just, I'm telling you, this year we are going to sign an agreement with China. That is almost 1 billion people, and we can also export whatever we are producing here from an industrial production point of view.
Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata welcomed the project, noting it will create jobs for youth.
It is now coming here, creating what we call objective employment, yeah, which will ensure it is sustainable. The only thing I urge these manufacturers is to ensure you export. It is very important. Don't just target Kenyan market.
Stakeholders added that industrialization and value addition will help Kenya transition from exporting raw agricultural produce to finished high-value products.
The unique thing about this industrial park is the fact that it is located in an agricultural area, and as you know, Kenya has been losing up to 40% during post-harvest losses. So the impact is that we'll be able to utilize all our agri-resources, add value, and be able to export outside of the country as well as sell locally.
When you think of what you are doing here, it's an ecosystem of industries. You have the transportation that will be booming here. You have other retailers that will take our products. You have the construction industry. Anything that you may want for construction, we'll make it here. Not only that, we are also attracting investors. We have a design of about 5 other factories in our park. We don't expect to get all that money from our pockets. We will attract local investors who can also do what?
Reporting for Catholic Focus Capuchin TV, I'm Nancy Kajuju.
The National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, has urged parents, community leaders and stakeholders to join the government in fighting illegal alcohol sales. Officers in Kitui's Kabati market recently seized alcohol worth over 5 million shillings, targeting substance sold near schools and residential areas. Let's take a look.
What we've discovered during this raid is the alcohol that is stored in his distribution warehouse bears fake KRA stamps, and we're talking about over 900 cartons and over 250 crates of suspected alcoholic drinks. So what we've also discovered is that this person is operating a wines and spirits shop and a bar very close to a secondary school, which is against the law. So we are going to be prosecuting the gentleman, and all other relevant government processes will apply. As NACADA and with other multi-agency teams, this is the second time we are conducting this kind of operations in Kitui County. And we've been able to net quite large volumes of counterfeited alcohol within this region, which, according to the information that we have, is one of the highly ranked counterfeiting hubs within the larger eastern region. So we are putting everybody on notice, and including the public, to always volunteer information in case they suspect that somebody is carrying out such unscrupulous activities, to share the information with us. And we are also requesting the public to be very vigilant, especially the people who consume these products, not to consume things that would have a negative effect on their health, and to always verify the contents of what they are consuming. This is also a good learning opportunity for businesses who are in this, business people who are in these activities, to always ensure that what they do is in line with the law, because the punishments are severe, and we are going to make sure that we follow the law to the letter.
That's all for this edition of Catholic Focus on Capuchin TV. Thank you for joining us. I'm Charles Mawaton, and with me for sign language interpretation was Charity Ngima. Have a fruitful Lent season.
Keep watching Capuchin TV, your staunchly Catholic identity channel. You are watching Capuchin TV. For any complaints, comments, or compliments on our programming, you can either write to us on info@capuchintv.co.ke, or you can call us directly on 0717 424 866. Your complaint shall be addressed within 7 days. Remember to keep a copy of your communication with us. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity.